Chelsea won, Manchester United won. Was that 1 point gained or 2 points dropped? Let's dig into it. Look here, if you take this game in isolation, a point against Chelsea is good. Chelsea are first on the log, Chelsea are flying high, and if you draw against a team of that caliber, especially at their home grounds, that is good. But I just feel in the context of this whole season where we are on the log, I feel that we need to almost win all the games that we can possibly win. You know, dropping more points is not good enough, but as I've said, in isolation, it is a good result. A point against Chelsea. We lost against City, we lost against Liverpool, and everybody thought we were going to lose against Chelsea, and we did not. So the fact that we could get a draw out of Chelsea, that was good. However, I'm more worried about the performance, and it is so embarrassing, guys. It is so bad that 3 years after this manager's reign, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, he spoke about a project, he spoke about a rebuild. 3 years later, and this is the state of Manchester United. Look at these stats right here. Look at these stats. 24 shots for Chelsea, 3 shots for Manchester United. 6 shots on target for Chelsea, 2 shots on target for Man United. 66% possession for Chelsea, 34% possession for Man United. Then we go to the bottom and we see 15 corners for Chelsea, 2 corners for Manchester United. So you can clearly see one team came to play football, one team came to win the game, the other team came just to nick a result and see if we can get anything out of the game. And it's embarrassing that 3 years later, under this regime, we still can't go toe to toe with the big clubs. We put our performances like this. This is a reminder of the PSG performance. Remember when we played PSG, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was interim manager, and we played PSG and they outplayed us, they dominated us, but we won at the end. But this was a typical PSG performance where Chelsea completely outplayed us. Chelsea were the complete dominant team, and we were just hoping to nick a result, and we did. We came off with a draw. It's embarrassing, and I'm just so happy, guys, that this regime now has come to an end. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has gone. Michael Carrick, Kieran McKenna, Mick Phelan, their time is up. The new manager is arriving in this week. And I'm just happy that it's over, because this has been a failed regime. This is the worst regime, the worst management that we've had. They've spent 441 million for us to be playing this type of football. They've signed Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest of all time players, to put him on the bench first of all, and then to be playing this type of football. They've taken 3 years and we're playing this type of football. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he left in his farewell video, he said, "I hope I leave the club in a better place than what I received it." I'm here to tell you guys that he has not left us in a better place. He has left us at the same place, if not worse, than what he picked us up. Because the fact that we still can't go toe to toe with these clubs is embarrassing. Our rebuild started before Chelsea's rebuild. Chelsea lost their best player, Eden Hazard. They had a transfer ban. They spent less money than us. Yet for some reason, they are ahead of us. Why is that? That's because of a manager. That's the impact that a manager can have. And the manager is the most important person in the team. It's the manager. It's not the players. It's not the coaches. It is the manager. The manager is the most important part, because these Chelsea players were the exact same players playing under Frank Lampard that were underachieving, that were performing poorly, that were sitting outside of the top 4. Thomas Tuchel comes in with the same players, wins the Champions League, and all of a sudden he's first on the log come the new season. The manager is the most important person in the footballing team. We've got world-class players, but we don't have that manager. And so I'm finally happy that this was Michael Carrick's last game, Kieran McKenna, Mick Phelan's last game where they actually have an input. And coming in a new week, we've got a new manager. Hopefully, I think he's bringing 1 or 2 coaches with him. But even if he doesn't, at least he will be able to dictate to the team how they need to play, what they need to do. He'll be having an impact on coaching, on training, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer told us that he is not on the training ground. Ralf Rangnick will be on the training ground. And so I'm just happy that this current regime is over. And we're turning a new leaf, and we will be a better team. It's going to take time, guys. It's going to take time, but we will be a better team. Now, let's dig into the performance against Chelsea. As I said, it was a horrendous performance. We went there to basically sit back and hope that we could nick a result, where Chelsea came on the day and Chelsea wanted all 3 points. They wanted all 3 points. Chelsea were the better team. They were more dominant. They had rhythm. You could see the patterns of their play. They were playing 1 and 2 touch football. They knew when their wingback was overlapping. They knew the positioning of their wingbacks. They had an identity, opposed to Manchester United that just went out there. We could not even string 5 passes together, hoping to play on the counter-attack. This is the same tactic that was in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first season. We're deploying it now. Counter-attacking football, hoping to play on the counter-attack. You can't even nick 5 passes together. The first goal we scored, Jorginho made an error. People were shouting for Jorginho to win the Ballon d'Or. How can a Ballon d'Or player not be able to control the ball under pressure? Don't come kid me. Jorginho cannot win a Ballon d'Or. It's impossible for him to win a Ballon d'Or because he doesn't have the talent to win a Ballon d'Or. He made an error for the goal. You were supposed to hit it out. You can't want to control the ball in that scenario where you are the last man. You're supposed to hit the ball out. He did not hit the ball out. We got the ball and we ended up scoring. Good goal from Jadon Sancho. Composure, what you expect from him. And I hope it can be the start of something for Jadon, because he is a good player. He is a very talented player, and we need to see more of Jadon. So I'm happy that he did score the goal. He took it well as well. Composure, as I said. The keeper thought he was going to slide it to Rashford. He decided to put it in. Then we go to their goal. Clumsy tackle from Adam Wan-Bissaka, which was a penalty. You can't kick someone in the box. He kicked the back of Thiago Silva's leg in the box. It was a penalty. But that's Wan-Bissaka. He's a clumsy defender. And then Jorginho steps up and makes amends for his error, and he slots it in the back of the net. Now, David De Gea has been saving penalties for us of lately, but you cannot expect a keeper to save every single penalty. And so it goes in. But on the balance of play, guys, Chelsea was supposed to win that game. Chelsea could not win the game, primarily because I say they need goal scorers. You can't rely on fullbacks, wing-backs to score every game. It doesn't work like that. It's the same with Manchester City, relying on midfielders to score every game. It doesn't work like that. You will come short. Eventually you will come short, and Chelsea came short. They were the better team. They were supposed to roll us over. They could not roll us over because they had no goal scorers. They played a front three of Timo Werner, Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi. You can't put any expectation on those players. You can't put any weight on those players because they're all small players. All of them are small players. You cannot put any weight from them. But that's Chelsea's perspective, guys. And let me put up the lineup here. Here's the lineup just to speak about the lineup that Michael Carrick went with. So he went with a 4-3-1-2 lineup. As you can see, we have 7 defensive players and only 3 offensive players. The notion right at the beginning of the game was counter-attacking football. We're going to hold on to whatever we have and hope we can nick at the end of the game. David De Gea made a few good saves. He made a few good saves. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I really think that Wan-Bissaka's days are probably numbered now with the inclusion of Ralf Rangnick. I would be surprised if Ralf Rangnick still continues with Wan-Bissaka, but I'll be even more surprised in the new season if Wan-Bissaka next season is still playing for Manchester United as a starting 11 right back, because he's not good enough. He's a very poor right back. He's a right back for yesteryear. He's not a modern day right back, and you as a full back in the modern game, you need to be good going forward. a lot of the fullbacks now in the modern game are even better going forward than they are defensively. You look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, you look at Cancelo. These fullbacks are extremely good going forward, but defensively they are vulnerable. You can get past them with ease. So Wan-Bissaka should not be playing for Manchester United in our starting 11. And for me, he had an average. He gave away the penalty. And apart from that, he done nothing. So I'd say he had a poor game. Victor Lindelof, I think, had a steady game. In the beginning of the game, they were getting past Vic. But I think he had a steady game thereafter. Eric Bailly, I think, also had a steady game as well. I'm just happy we don't see Harry Maguire. I don't know what happened to Harry Maguire. Maybe you can tell me in the comments. Hit the comments and tell me what happened with Maguire. Why wasn't he playing? But I'm happy when Maguire is not playing, because Maguire is not good enough for Manchester United, period. Maguire is an average centre-back. He's a 40 million centre-back that we paid double the price, 80 million for. Alex Telles, I thought it was okay. Never do much. I thought he was okay. Scott McTominay was poor. I don't understand how Sky Sports apparently gave Scott McTominay man of the match. I don't understand that. Scott McTominay is poor. In possession, so poor. The only thing Scott does is run around and kick people. The minute you put the ball in front of Scott, you see all his weaknesses, you see his vulnerability. You're supposed to be a footballer. You in the heart of the pitch in the midfield. You're supposed to be... The midfielders are the most technical players in the team. Scott McTominay is our least technical player. He's so bad in possession. He just runs around and kicks people. Poor game. I don't understand how he got man of the match. Poor game. Matic for me was the man of the match. Matic was superb. In and out of possession, especially in possession, just to get the ball under pressure. He was dropping his shoulders on Chelsea players. He was rolling them over. He was doing Cruyff turns. Matic was so good. For me, Matic was the man of the match. I think that was a magnificent performance from Matic. He really stuck his foot there in the midfield. And you could see him, and he made his presence known in the midfield. Fred as well had a good... I think Fred had I won't say a good performance, but he definitely had a better performance than Scott. Fred was all over, closing down, some woeful decisions in possession, but that's what you come to know under Fred. You need to know what to expect from these players. So I say Fred had a better performance than Scott McTominay. Don't understand how Scott got man of the match. Bruno had a poor performance. Bruno, Scott McTominay, Wan-Bissaka, all in the same boat. They had a poor performance. Bruno had a poor performance, and he's been having poor performances this season. And as I've always said in my videos as well, Bruno hides behind GA. He hides behind goals and assists. He hides behind stats. Now there's no more GA. Now there's no more penalties. And he has nowhere to hide. His overall game leads a lot to be desired. His overall game was not good enough, especially when you play in the number 10 position. You need to be probably the most influential player in our team when you get the ball. And that's not Bruno. He gave away a chance early in the game. He tried to switch the ball in our own half, and Chelsea got on the ball from his switch of play. And so a lot of the times with Bruno, the most simple passes, the most simple through balls to the striker, to the winger, Bruno can't get it off. He just can't get it off. It was a poor performance from Bruno Fernandes. Poor performance. Jadon Sancho had a good game. Scored the goal. Looked lively on the counter-attack. Rashford had an okay game. Okay, he had one or two moments on the counter-attack where he looked lively. They were bringing him down. Other than that, these players were starved of the ball. Because as I showed you earlier, Chelsea had 66 or something like that possession of the ball. They were starved of the ball. What do you expect to this counter-attack settings? We then brought on Cristiano Ronaldo, who never had any impact in the game. We brought on Jesse Lingard, had no impact in the game, and Donny van de Beek, who had no impact on the game. The reason was because we couldn't get the ball from Chelsea. It's as simple as that. I'm just happy, guys. I'm just happy that this regime is over. I'm happy that this boyhood club philosophy or idea is over. We now got a proper manager in that has proper knowledge of the game, and you will see an upturn in performances and results. You have to. We are too low not to see an upturn in results and performances. So guys, that's my match review. Man of the match, as I said, is Nemanja Matic. I thought he was fantastic. And let's roll on. I think Arsenal is the next game we're playing in the midweek. In midweek, we definitely can beat Arsenal. Definitely we can beat Arsenal. They're there for the taking as well. I'm not impressed. I watch Arsenal. I watch a lot of Arsenal, and I'm never impressed when I watch them. I always just see them, okay, they're winning games now, but it's nothing impressive. So we definitely can beat Arsenal, and I'm expecting this team to beat Arsenal because man for man, we're better than them. And we supposedly will have a better manager as well than Mikel Arteta, which is Ralf Rangnick. So guys, that's my match review. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, and I'll see you.